Hey, what's going on, guys? gdoggcasey here, bringing you another Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play episode. We are in Ul'dah, and we are going to be listening to them talk about their nation and deciding on whether or not Ul'dah is the grand company that we would like to represent. And I think I'm going the wrong way. I thought there was a way, like... Can you go through this door? No, okay. Stuck... See, like, oh, it's that way, that's why, okay. Alright, well, after getting a little bit lost here, we will start heading in the right direction, and we'll find out, like I said, if Ul'dah is the place for us. It's not a bad city. I mean, it's definitely in stark contrast to Gridania, for sure. And I've already stated my thoughts on how I feel about Gridania. I like starting there, because I liked being a Lancer, but it's a pretty easy decision for me anyway. And you know what, if you guys are, like, I'm not trying to start any hate or anything. If there are people watching who love Gridania, that's totally fine. I think that's pretty obvious, but it's just not for me. Alright, can I find my way around here, please? How do I get up? Yeah, I thought it was around here. Okay. Probably could have just took a crystal. But let's take the scenic route, why don't we? Here we are.
Behold! 'Tis the Sultana Nanamal herself!
And Roban as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore! Hurrah! Roban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold, where by the grace and glory of Naldal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Ya for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raoban? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn!
See, in my opinion, that one was much better.
Time is now!
I fancy meeting you again.
These random comments, though, are just like, they're kind of out of place. Yeah, how'd you get here so fast? So he's going to give us a bit more of a background on Ul'dah. The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it that you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So they have dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Ul'dan send their forces to smite the Primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder then that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. Sister's kind of pissy, isn't she? Okay. So that was that one. And honestly, I do think it was just much better than Gridania. Even, like, it's obviously stands above Gridania. So let's see what Limsa Lominsa has to offer. So, right away, some things that are going for Limsa, it's probably the best looking area, and it has the best music. Of course, that's subjective to me, but it's the nicest area, and it has the best music, so... Those are already in favor of Limsa. But let's see. Does the Admiral have what it takes to sway me? Here to attend the remembrance service? Be quick. The Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Alright, let's go.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Ha yeah, ah, ha yeah, ha!
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilfir's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin
bastards.
have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us, one bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
Alright, Alphino, let's hear it. Give me the history lesson. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa Lominsa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are for the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Lominsan's backyard. And that is to say naught of the internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Lominsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. Alright, well, that is the speeches over and done with. Guy, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say. What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies? Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Okay, so we have a little bit of time here to think about our decision as we run on over to the Waking Sands again from Horizon. So, again, Gridania is an easy choice to say no to, at least for me. I don't really like the ruler that much. I'm not a fan of forest people. I don't mind elves really, but I get a little bit tired of worshipping the trees and the leaves and, you know, and all that kind of thing. For Limsa Lominsa, it's a beautiful city. The music is amazing. I love how it's bright and you know, it's a nice area. The Admiral is not as bad as the Elder Seedseer, but she still kind of falls on deaf ears when she talks. Like, when she's talking, I don't really feel moved, you know? And I guess this is just... not to, like, hate on the voice actors or anything, but it just didn't really come across as strong as the final choice for Ul'dah, where they have a, you know, a nation that is built on prosperity and might, and I kind of like that idea. I like Raubon. I liked his speech. I think it's kind of cute that they have a little Lalafell Sultanate who is actually in charge of the whole area, but Raubon is kind of like her right-hand man, and he literally carries her on his arm. And, you know, his speech was moving. It actually made me want to fight for Ulda. The only reason why I'm contemplating it a little harder is because Creech, the paladin that you guys have watched, was, or that some of you may have watched anyway, she is part of the Uldan, the Immortal Flames. So I was thinking, like, do I really want to send Wee Guy Crown there as well, or should I just go to Limsa to sort of mix it up? And I really didn't put too much thought about it into it other than the thought as I was listening to their speeches, and I felt I would give them another chance to win me over. But I think the choice is going to be pretty clear here. Welcome back, Wee Guy, where the Grand Company leader's words is illuminating to you as you had hoped. Aye, each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Wee Guy. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and then take a moment to reflect on your decision. Once your mind is made up, pray, give it to the Grand Company officers. Pray, give the Grand Company officers your answer. Okay.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies, as though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alize, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady! We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
I don't think she heard you, dude. Okay, well, what is the choice going to be? It's going to be the Flame Officer. Welcome back, adventurer. I take it General Raban's words kindled a fire within you. That they did. Let's join. Excellent. I feared that the incident with the traitor may have soured your opinion of us. It gladdens me to see that isn't the case. But before we can count you as one of our own, you must formally be inducted into our ranks. Company you keep. Okay. Please proceed to the Hall of Flames on Ulda's Merchant Strip and identify yourself to the personnel officer. I will notify him of your coming. With your strength joined to ours, we shall surely prevail over our enemies, be they beastmen or Imperials. Yeah. It's gotta be the Flame. The same reason why I joined the first time is going to be the same reason why I joined the second time. So let's go ahead and become inducted into the Immortal Flames. I had almost convinced myself that doing that going to Limsa would be the better choice, just because it's a little bit new. Wow, look at this. Is that a pet or is... Oh, it is a pet. Oh, look at that. It's Ifrit. Wow, okay. There's still so much to this game that I have to learn, so I hope you guys are okay with that. You know, like, I find that when I watch YouTube videos, I'm kind of looking for an expert's opinion, and when I'm watching someone who doesn't quite know everything about it, who's not going to teach me anything, then it's a little bit less worthy of my attention. But at the same time, I still think there's some value to us learning together. Look at this set. That's a Dark Knight, I guess? Pretty cool. Alright. Hello, dude. What brings you to the Hall of Flames this day, adventurer? My name is Wee Guy Crown. I'll just say this one. I'm here to enlist if you'll have me. I don't want to, think that they know who I am. Is that so? Well then, I must ask you for your name. But let me guess. It is Wee Guy Crown, is it not? Yes, you are just you are just as our man at the Waking Sands described. Thank you for electing to join us. Now, in order to formalize your... Sir! Speak, private. Pirate. Imperial, sir. They fired on our Highwind Skyways airship. Scouts say that she's coming down to the west, near Horizon's edge. Bloody hells, of all the times for this to happen. We got it. There's no time for formalities. The Immortal Flames need your help now. We are in the midst of a large-scale operation against the Amalsha, and we have no one to spare in Western Thanalan. You must get to that ship before the Garleans do. If there are any survivors, see that they do not come to further harm. Now go. Reading skills are not 100% on par today. I apologize for that. Alright, but that's going to do it. So we are about to join the Immortal Flames. We will have to do a bit of a mini quest for them here, but we will do that in the next episode. Finally get to put some of this gear to use as we go and impose our will on our enemies out in the desert of Thanalan. I hope you guys are enjoying Nanamo. And I will see you in the next one.